Be advised, the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
You are what you watch.
Hello, my name's Harry Tambuatco and welcome to our program. The topic tonight is going to be Ang Kapatiran Party, which is very much the same topic I had about 3-4 weeks ago with Nandi Pacheco and Eric Manala. Now, this week we're going to do the same, but instead we have a group of 3 people who are also in the executive committee of the Ang Kapatiran Party. Now, as we evolve into the show, we go into that. Allow me to make a short commentary as we open. I am impressed with the Sona, or was it Sana? Either way, how any one singular politician, and most surprisingly, the president, how he can actually take on the church. Now, I have heard of many politicians who've aspired to, in fact, many indulged into. What's happened is it has cost their ruin. Let's not forget, in the Philippines, whether you like it or not, and the statistics being correct, we are predominantly Roman Catholic. Now, I went to a Catholic school, and I'm sure you did, unless you're part of the 6% that belong to the Muslim grouping. Now, I'm not putting anything on them, nor am I going to say anything for or against what we call the new religions that have come about. After all, evangelism, especially in television, as you can see, is becoming, how do you say, the norm, the fad, or the thing to be today. Alam nyo, ako, hindi naman ako masyadong right or masyadong left, either way, when it comes to my religion, but my faith is grounded. And I'm sure the majority of us Filipinos have this. We may question it, pero alam mo, the word faith does not allow you to question it. The option is not there. You're either a Catholic, a Roman Catholic at that, or not. Now, going back to the president, our leader, and the many instigators out there that promote this RH bill, imagine, well, I can't find any words for it. I can't understand how any one singular politician, and even a group of them who try to call themselves politicians, will try and take on the church. Is this not suicide? Now you can read the bishops, the priests, the clergy, everyone is getting angry. The wrath of people power has not seen the real power, what the church can put together. Sure, elections, they say, wala namang boto ang Catholic vote. Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. A Filipino vote, either way, is a Catholic vote. I'd like to reintroduce to you the Kapatiran Party. It's Ang Kapatiran Party. I'm always being asked, ano yan, party list group? No, this is a formidable political party that has sat from one election to another. The reason the party exists, it's because it's the platform that is actually correct, not necessarily politically motivated or maybe politically correct, because the Ang Kapatiran Party does not lust to get any position, but to try and teach and put forward correct politics. But we will discuss that as we go along. We have Lito, Norman with us, and Manolo. Gentlemen, magandang gabi po sa inyong tatlo. Maraming salamat naman, narito kayo sa show natin. Ang Kapatiran Party. I like what he's wearing. RH, ano nakasulat dyan?
No to RH bill.
I guess, ikaw mag-umpisa Lito. Or would you rather, Norman?
No, it's okay.
Oh,
You can start.
please.
Well, I would like to take this opportunity, sir, to announce also, no? There's going to be a mammoth rally that will be done on Saturday. That's August 4.
August
At
4.
1 o'clock in the afternoon at the EDSA Shrine. precisely in response to what the President said during his SONA.
This is not just ang Kapatiran Party.
No,
This is
no.
the Catholics are asked to go on August 4 at 1 o'clock sa EDSA Shrine.
Sa EDSA Shrine, yes. It so happened that ang Kapatiran is playing a major part in this mobilization of people. No? In a lot of the things that are discussed in the pro-life movement, ang Kapatiran is always in the forefront. No? Like for example, in my case, I'm always there. Manong Manolo and Brother Norman. No? This is our way of saying that politics should not be dirty naman eh. No? And we can be advocates of change, evangelizing politics, etc. No? Kaya yung ang Kapatiran is always in the forefront of these things, no? Yung laban sa RH, pushing for agrarian reform, no? Genuine agrarian reform, the Freedom of Information Bill, no? The Citizens Protection Act. We have done these things, no? As part of the platform and principles of the party. Of course, the senior members of the party can
How many do we
discuss
expect
more on
on
that.
Saturday? Ilang kaya ang expectation natin na mamomobilize ng simbahan? Kapatiran ba o simbahan? Simbahan to, di ba?
Yeah, it's both.
When we speak ang Kapatiran Party, can we say this is the party for the church? Not necessarily.
Absolutely
No,
not.
no.
It's not, right?
Absolutely not.
But we uphold the teachings, the church, the
Yes.
Catholic Church, and the Pope, but we are not necessarily the church.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Can you
not.
help explain this?
Well, the way I understand it, the Mammoth Rally that is going to happen on August 4 is particularly being led, no, by the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Family and Life.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a commission of the Catholic Church, no, under Bishop Gabi Reyes, and under it is a coalition of
Organization,
pro-life
yeah.
organizations,
Okay.
pro-life organizations, some NGOs, and the only political party that is a member of the pro-life coalition representing the lay, no, the non-clergy is ang Kapatiran Party. That's
Pag
the kind of
sinabi
role
natin,
that we play.
pag sinabi natin, okay, kasi maraming nalilito dyan.
Yeah, let me
Oh, sige,
clarify
please.
that.
Oh,
Let
sige.
me clarify that. When you say church, there is in effect a distinction between church and its followers, no? Because people think that when they say church, it is just the clergy, yung mga
pare.
mga pare, mga
Nagbibigay
madre,
ng
mga
komunyon.
ladyan,
The
nagbibigay ng
religious,
komunyon. At ang sinasabi nila, pag sinabi nilang lay, nakahiwalay pa yan. Actually, in reality, the church itself is composed of the lay people.
Correct, because we are the church. We become the
Correct.
church.
We are the church.
99.9.
Sabi nga nila, 99.9% is of the church is composed of the lay people.
Correct.
And 0.1%
Are
are the
practitioners.
priests and bishops and all of them. So that's a big difference. Now, when we move, let's say as Kapatiran, and we say that we are in effect advocating the teachings of the Catholic Church, not only the Catholic Church but also the other churches, because a lot of the teachings of the Catholic Church are also being advocated by the other churches,
exponential, yes.
the other even the Muslims. Some of our teachers are advocated by them too.
Okay.
And what it really means is that we as Kapatiran, we are moving things not only for the clergy, not only for the but also for the lay people, mainly the lay people, because it is the lay people that need to be helped out. And this is what is composed. This is what composes ang Kapatiran Party.
Let's differentiate. Nationalista Party, Liberal Party. Mga Katoliko yan, di ba?
Correct.
Seemingly. Of course, they do have a representative from the Muslim group, di ba? As seen in their senator lineup, senatorial, the governor, and local government. Sila ba hindi pro-church? Parang ganon.
Not
Hindi.
necessarily.
Sige, go ahead.
We are
I'm
all,
just trying
yeah,
to create
yeah.
a distinction.
Yeah.
I hope
yeah.
you don't mind,
Tama,
but it's
tama,
obvious where I'm going,
Yeah,
di ba?
it's a good
Yeah.
The
question.
difference
Correct.
kapatiran, the church, tsaka all these political parties that promote do good things. You know, they're the saviors of the people.
Correct.
Promote dynasty, di ba?
Correct.
Promote brother and sister into the Senate. Gee, let's put the whole family in government and make it a family affair.
That's
And
Yeah.
let's control the Filipino people. Di ba dapat?
Pero wala
What's the
sila-
difference with them
Oo.
and kapatiran?
First, the similarity.
Sorry, I know it puts a smile on your face.
Tama.
But alam mo, this sarcasm is a reality we see in the Senate today. We see it in governors, mayors, magkakamag-anak yan. Lahat ng pamilya nila ang negosyo ang Pilipino.
That's right.
Correct?
That's right.
Oh, sige, go ahead.
First, the similarity. We
There
are,
is?
yeah,
I'm
the
shocked
similarity.
with this
We
one.
are all political parties. Ang
Boy,
Kapatiran
remove that
Party,
word political.
Liberal Party, Nationalista Party, NPC, PDP Laban. We are all political parties.
Pero hindi sila church.
Where does no.
They're not
There's
Catholic.
no church in all of this.
Ah, okay.
There's no church in all of this. No?
Okay.
Because well, strictly speaking, the church, the clergy, is prohibited by canon law
Of course.
to participate in
What I meant by
in
church
partisan.
was our religion, our faith. Being Catholics. I didn't expect it, I didn't mean it to be the other way
The
around.
other way around. Yeah. Well, the differences are these. No? Number one is traditional politics. No? The other is responsible and accountable politics. And that is where kapatiran can be classified under. No? Why responsible and accountable? Because in kapatiran, we have clear principles. We have specific policy objectives in our platform in black and white. No? And
And the other?
and the other, they have motherhood statements. No?
Love of people. Mahal ko ang taong bayan. Di ba?
In
Sige,
fact,
sige, sige.
Harry,
No, I know, I have that book, yes,
Kapatiran
yes, please, yes.
is the only political party in the Philippines and possibly in the world to have published a book about itself. No, a handbook, a guide on how to renew politics in this country. And what is unique about Kapatiran is that all its members and candidates subscribe and commit themselves and abide by the same principles and by the entirety of the
Without
platform
compromise.
without compromise. Okay, so this is one thing that is important that we should educate our people about, the importance of assessing, of studying candidates via the political parties they belong to. No? In fact, there was one famous columnist, I would not give his name, who said that in the Philippines, there are only two genuine political parties.
What was the other one?
The other one is the Communist Party of the Philippines. But unfortunately, they seem to be going
No, that's
going
okay.
guns
Yeah,
soon.
yeah,
No?
well,
And he says this because these are the only genuine political parties because it is only in these parties where you find the party to be bigger than its members and not the other way
That's
around.
right.
The problem with other political parties, not to sound self-serving to our viewers,
Yes.
because we do promote, I believe in the same platform. Problem is, people ask me question number 2 after I say I believe in the platform, ang Kapatiran Party. Gusto mo ba gusto mo bang manalo? Eh, hindi ganun eh. Hindi ka mananalong ganyan eh.
Yes.
Now, looking at the other parties, the Liberal, which is the President's Party, the Nationalista with Villar, what else? What are the other? The much popularized party, the celebrity party, the UNA, not any longer UNO, under Binay and all those that want to be in that party. Can we safely say, number one, they're not pro-Catholic.
I do not think we can we can state that among themselves. We can state that categorically.
So what's the difference
but
between them and us?
Well,
the difference are specific platforms.
tsaka,
So number one, at least, well, for example, RH bill.
Okay,
Yes.
the RH bill.
Well, let's talk about RH bill. Let's get this out of the way. Ako, simple lang posisyon ko dyan eh. Ang Santo Papa, the Pope, the head of the Catholic congregation of the world, correct?
Yes.
Roman Catholic, has already announced and said and written about it. No, we're against it.
Yes.
And yet, we, the Filipinos, who are predominantly Catholic, some of us seem to know better and are probably more godly than the Pope and say, no, they know better and more of the Pope. So they go against it and they want to promote the RH bill. As simple as that. It's faith-based. Ako, faith-based. Ganun na lang. Huwag na natin pag-usapan. Ayaw ng Santo Papa. Di wag na. Anong position ng iba? Anong base mo sa RH?
That is only one side of the argument. No?
But if
the,
you
the
can't
other
get
side,
past that, why
Yeah.
even go to the scientific side and everything else? Obvious naman, may abortificants, di ba? Yun.
Abortifacient.
Abortificians. Ando doon naman eh, ay nila palitan. Wag na natin pag-usapan. Di ba ganun lang yun eh. So, seeming intellectuals,
Yeah.
men of science are both on both sides of this pendulum that is being discussed. So obviously, it's not gonna go anywhere. So why don't we just stop all the BS and say, hey, ay nasa to Papa, ano pa gusto mong gawin? Hindi, di ba? Ganun na lang eh.
Hindi na lang yun eh. Simple na lang eh. Just look at the countries today that have done this a long time ago.
Oh,
and
they
are
lost.
Now,
Yeah.
are now suffering
Correct.
because they now have to bring in people from other countries to work for them.
Baliktad.
Baliktad na nangyayari.
Yeah,
So,
but if you go into that argument, lalabanan na naman tayo. Hindi natin mapakain yung mga tao eh. Of course, it's the fault of government. Di ba? Even though with the SONA and the SANA, hindi pa rin mapakain eh.
Pero itong mga taong ito, kung itong mga ito hindi pinanganak ito, wala tayong mapapadala abroad. Nasaan ang ating mga overseas remittances?
Yeah, kita mo,
OFW
tama
remittances?
nga naman. Ikaw, Lito. Sige. Very good. Tapusin natin yung RH so we can go to the other
Hindi,
issues.
kasi parati pong sinasabi ng mga pro-RH na magkahiwalay yung pananampalataya doon sa governance ng Estado. Kaya minsan, we engage them in scientific discussions. Pag pumasok sa technical scientific na discussion tungkol sa RH, hindi naman sila nananalo eh. Never. In all forums, in all the debates that we have attended,
But it's hard to gauge who wins and who loses in this
No,
forum.
the
This is
audience-
media-driven and media does not tell the truth.
pero-
Media tells you what they want you to believe, di ba?
Pero doon po sa mga survey after the forum, after the debate, wala pa silang ipinanalo, no?
Naniniwala
Da-
ka
da-
sa
da-
surveys?
Well, yung mga nanonood, no?
Yes.
Pagka bumoto sila, talo naman parati yung pro-RH eh. Sa scientific technical discussion
So
yun.
why do you think it still persists? Why do you think the president, the president, in all likelihood, if you really look at him on a person-to-person basis, not the position that he has to carry and the authority that has to emanate from his person in the position. He seems like a nice person naman eh. He's a good guy. Comes from a Catholic family, di ba? I mean, maayos naman eh. Edukado, miski pa paano, hasindero, anak mayaman. So obviously, he's had it all in his life. Why is he pushing for something he knows will get nowhere and will only get the ire of the Catholics? Does it make sense to you? Why is he pushing it?
Well, it's a personal commitment with President Obama, I think.
Siguro.
You mean he sold out to the Americans
Yes.
para yung pharmaceuticals makabenta rito?
Yes.
And in return, they'll come and save us from the
And
Chinese.
he was given
Ganun ba yun?
several $100 million on his
You
first
mean
trip.
the president's corrupt and collected several $100 million? Is that what you're saying?
No, as a grant, as grant to his government. But of course, we don't know where that several $100 million went. No? Because it has not been accounted for yet.
But this is hearsay, Lito.
No. On his first trip, he received $534 million.
A pittance compared to what the Middle Eastern countries have been getting for decades.
Yes.
If you think about
But this is, as part of his commitment to push for population control in the Philippines.
But do you believe
So
that-
this is not simply about reproductive health, no? This is about population control. And the Americans are so
Gung-ho.
So ayaw tayo,
about
ayaw tayo
population
palawakin ng mga
Yes.
Amerikano. Ayaw tayo dumami. So takot ang Amerikano sa atin. Na dumami tayo.
In effect, I think in the final analysis, what they want to do is to control the source of food that eventually they will be needing in the future.
The source of resources.
The source of
This
resources
has been
are
spelled
coming
out
really from the third
even
world
during the
countries.
time of Secretary Henry Kissinger, no? Under NSSM 200.
Okay, so we have all these facts, we have all these innuendos, and we have all these hearsay, if necessary, all put together. Okay, all the information or disinformation, assuming it is disinformation, assuming it is true information. So the president and his cohorts are all there trying to push the RH bill and ram it down our throats through legal representation and legislation. How about those that actually go for it? Ang daming groups, ang daming academe. Are they part of the cohorts? Are they part of the beneficiaries of the $500 million plus that the government's supposed to have received? Is that the reason they go
No,
for
that's
it, or are they
separate pa.
real?
That is separate pa because some of the academicians, no, have been receiving grants from International Planned
So
Parenthood.
they've sold out.
Yes. Just last year, 3 organizations in the Philippines received almost $1 million.
Who are these organizations?
Family Planning Organization of the Philippines,
All right.
Likhaan Center for Women.
These are all NGOs.
These are all
registered
NGOs,
yes.
no? And there's another one for it's a global network of women. No? They've been receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars every year from the International Planned Parenthood. IPPF is funded by the American government through USAID.
Are our congressmen bought already? Nabili na ba yung mga representante natin?
Some of them are hosting projects funded by the United Nations Population Fund. So, yung districts nila have been receiving money from the UNFPA. So, anong gagawin mo kung nandoon ka, no? Just like the congressmen up north. A lot of these areas, provinces up north, no, are hosting UNFPA projects. And they've been receiving a lot of money. Andiyan dyan ang vehicles, nandiyan dyan yung support services and everything. No? So, pera-pera lang po ito eh. Kaya yung marami doon sa mga congressmen na sumusuporta doon sa RH bill were actually recipient of grants of IPPF, UNFPA, even Hewlett-Packard, Bates Foundation.
Okay. Gentlemen, we're going to have to take a short break. Alam nyo, with the Corona trial, it was obvious, Congress, well, alam naman natin lahat, it's a numbers game. Can the numbers actually make it again and actually win over the RH bill? Because hawak na ng presidente, as in Corona, they were able to impeach him in 2-3 hours, allegedly with the representatives not even reading the complaint. Now, how they won, well, the rest is history. The point is, can it be done again? Well, the fight continues, so don't forget, it's August 4. It's not Kapatiran Party that's calling you alone, and it's not just the CBCP. It's your church and your faith that is calling you to appear. That's August 1 at the EDSA Shrine. If I'm not mistaken, that's the exact same place like EDSA Power, People Power Tayo 1 and 2. So don't forget that date. Now, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll discuss the other issues that ang Kapatiran Party is so passionate about. Not because the party wants to sit in power. It just wants to do what is correct. But maybe you care, maybe you don't. If you do, stay on. We'll be back in a short while.
ahead.
Hello, my name's Harry Tumbaco. We're back. I guess you're listening either that or you're on Destiny Cable and you don't have the other channel that does the news and talk programs. Anyway, talk programs are becoming more fashionable because they're more information-based, education-based than basic entertainment, which actually takes you into a world of make-believe and disaster. Now, either way, let's talk of the realities of what is facing us. We have the elections, gentlemen. Let's move from the RH bill a bit. We know that, well, we just said it off air. The representatives may or may have not been bought. And we will see the results once they deliberate this and they take a final vote. And either way, the president says we gotta do it, and they're gonna do it, di ba? Tingnan natin. Let's see if the numbers game will work. I bet it's gonna work, and RH bill is going to pass. Parang ganun ang base ko, but it continues. So, I'll remind them, Lito, correct? August 4, 1 o'clock.
At such time.
And you are expected, if you're Catholic, and if you're Muslim, pwede. Eh, yung mga
Pwede.
ibang evangelist group, yung mga, lahat ng mga ibang
Everybody.
churches.
Pwede sila
lahat.
sumali.
Everybody.
Pwede sila sumali.
Pwede kayo. Pero,
Ecumenical.
ecumenical. Basta pumunta kayo, pag boto kayo na tuloy ang buhay, huwag patayin ang buhay.
Pagpatay.
Okay, simple lang yun, di ba? Para one or the other issue. Can we talk politics and can we talk about the positions in power, how people get into power? Let's talk about dynasties.
Okay.
We are against it, correct?
Yes.
These are one of the basic principles in that passport of ang Kapatiran Party. Manolo, why are the Filipinos so susceptible? Why are they always continuing to elect dynasty after dynasty as if wishing to belong to a fiefdom of oligarchs? Bakit?
Ang Filipino still has that attitude of being a family-oriented group of people. And what happens to them is that unang-una, if I were in politics, yun ang nangyayari sa mga politiko natin. If I were in politics, yung aking posisyong ito, ipamamana ko yan sa mga anak ko yan. Sapagkat unang-una, yan ay parang parte na ng aking may susulong para sa aking pamilya.
So he owns it.
Lumalabas na kanilang property na yan. Ang mga botante naman ay tuloy naman ang tuloy ang sa kanila, ang pagboto sa kanila.
So are the voters idiotic?
Sapagkat nabubulagan sila sa mga sinasabi nito mga ganitong kasi pamilya. Nabubulagan sila sa mga ginagawa ng mga ganitong pamilya. Akala nila yung mga nangyayari tama na lahat yan. Pero hindi nila naiisip na itong mga ito, kaya nandiyan sa pwestong yan, unang-una, kumikita yung mga yan. Kung hindi kumikita yung mga yan, tinan mo kung maiiwan pa yung mga yan dyan. Nung panahon nung una, nung araw ang aking mga ninunoy nasa politika, sila ang gumagasta, nauubusan ng kayamanan para lang gastahin para sa bayan. Ngayon hindi, sila na, ito na mga pamilyang ito, sila na naghahakot, sila na kumikita. At yung kinikita nila yan, yun din naman ipamimili nila sa mga boto, sa mga tao.
Pero alam mo, ang kung saan ako naiinis, so I've been going down to the barangay level. I have aspirations to put my money where my mouth is. At susubukan ko, go for Congress for Muntinlupa. Pag umiikot ako, nakikita ako, bakit ang taong bayan, sanay na sanay, pupunta sa mga lugar ng mga barangay kapitan, mga kaunsilor, at humihingi ng pera kung hindi makikikain. Ngayon, kung bibigyan nila ng pera, saan naman nila kinukuha yung pera na yan? Alam mo, madaling 100 eh. 200 piso. Pero gawin mo mga 20, 30 times yan per day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week. You're talking easily 60, 100,000 a month. Saan niya naman kukunin yun? Wala naman sa budget yun. Di ba pagkaalam ko eh, no? Hindi ba naintindihan? Bobo ba ang Pilipino? Bobo ba ang botante?
I don't believe so. No?
Eh bakit nila ginagawa yun? Humihiling sila ng pera na hindi naman tao. O congressman, boss, pingin naman 500. Magkano eh, bibinyagin yung ano ko eh. Di ba kailangan ko naman ng pera? Oh, bibigay niya. Kung hindi mo bigay, ayoko tayo boto. Come on.
We are actually all part of the problem. You know? Hindi natin pwedeng maisisi lamang ang nangyayari sa ating bansa sa mga botante. No? Bakit nila binoboto itong mga ito, mga political
Yes.
dynastic families? No? The main reason is that sila lamang ang tumatakbo. Consider the 2013 election. Sabihin natin
No,
ang
senators, we had 86, 87 contestants
yeah, but
for 12 seats.
but most of them are, you know,
Dynastic.
dynastic
Mga
members,
dynasty.
no? Di ba?
Ang tawag dyan, recall.
Oo.
Pag sabi mo recall,
Oo.
oligarchs. O, di ba? Pero sa Pilipino, tawag recall.
And that is why
Nakikilala.
that is why ang kapatiran is there, no? That is why ang kapatiran was established, it was formed to present a viable alternative.
Why
for
didn't we
voters.
win?
Well, we have yet to be known. We have yet to be known, definitely. And what we are doing is a gradual move to getting there. No? For instance, even off elections period, we continue our work, our political advocacies. No?
Yes.
We can probably say that besides the RH bill, which is not a needed legislation at all. No?
Actually, it's
No,
not.
It's not a needed
What's the big
legislation.
hoopla about it, di ba? Hindi naman kailangan eh.
We can probably just talk of
Ayun daw ang solusyon eh.
we can probably just talk of 4 key legislations, no, that could turn this country around significantly. No? One is passing the Freedom of Information Bill. No? Second is to pass the constitutional provision on political dynasties. Second is to abolish the pork barrel. No? These 3 alone will have a huge impact on our corruption in government. No?
But the money is not with the representatives. The real money that is being spent and pocketed is in local government. If I'm not mistaken,
That's
the
why
governors
freedom-
and the mayors are
freedom-
the ones who make more money. Ang congressman, pinakamaliit eh. Governor, malaki, hawak niya yung mga kalye.
Freedom of information, which encompasses both
Oh,
national and
transparency.
local. Transparency. Even the barangay. No? Even the barangay. You can now
Inquire, no? And they
inquire
cannot hold
about the
back.
financial statements of your own barangay. No? And so that's how this is important. Now, dynasties, if you can abolish that, it will deter
Oligarchs, yeah. Pass on
oligarchs,
power.
pass on, and discourage corruption.
Good
Di ba?
point. Very good
Di ba?
point. Yes.
And then again, yung abolishing pork barrel will
But only
refocus
for representatives, the
For
pork barrel?
representatives,
So
yeah.
Congress, so Senador at and congressmen.
and congressmen.
Mind you, even municipal
Councilors.
cities and councilors,
And even
they also
councilors.
have now pork barrel.
Pork
Quezon
barrel.
City has one.
Pork barrel.
Quezon City has 44 million pesos per councilor.
Ba, kailangan ata maraming tatakbo dyan.
Aba, yan ang sinasabi natin ano.
So this should shift the
natututunan,
focus.
diba?
This should shift the focus from politicking among these legislators to really doing their work on legislation. No? So just these 3 laws, and the other one is gun control.
Yes.
And the other one is gun control. So you have addressed significantly corruption in government. You can address significantly peace and order. And what does this mean? No? This will mean less corruption, will mean more funds, no? More government funds available for public services.
Di ba yan ang gusto ni
Health,
Pinoy?
no?
Anong
Di ba?
lumalayo dyan sa gusto ni Pinoy? Ganun na ganun mga
Yes.
sinasabi ni Pinoy.
Health, housing,
Yan ang
all
sinasabi
these
ni
things.
President Noynoy, di ba?
Pero dati siyang kongresista, naging senador siya.
Oh.
Yung distrito niya nagsubsist sa pork barrel. So, alam niya kung paano tumatakbo ang politika. Pork barrel talaga. Hindi niya tatanggalin yung sistema na yun kasi doon nanggagaling yung lakas niya. Sa mga
No, but this
suporta
guy
ng mga
never had to
politiko.
spend to come into power. Although he did spend, based on the reports on spending, was 500 million, di ba, sinabi niya on the last election. Mali yun, ano, Manolo? Am I correct? If you're gonna spend 1 million or you're gonna spend 100 million, either way, mali yun, di ba tama? Kasi pag gumastos ka, para kang nag-i-invest para sa opisina na yun.
Binibili mo na yung posisyon.
Binibili mo na, no?
Ganun nga talaga. So it's something that has to stop somewhere along the line. It has to stop. Kahit na sinong, my goodness. Yung iba nga, hindi, tataka ko, hindi nadadala. Gagastos ng hundreds of millions of pesos, tapos matatalo lamang. Yung mga ganun ba?
Kaya
Kasi
dito sa
madali yung kinita nilang yan. Alam natin na napakadali yung kinita nila yan. Kung saan nila kinita yan eh.
Pero meron mga ano kasi, yung posisyon ng pagiging isang kongresista o isang senador, dyan pumapasok yung una, yung rent-seeking attitude. No? Tapos nandiyan na rin yung pag nakaupo ka.
Rent-seeking attitude.
Yes, tapos pag nakaupo ka na rin doon, nandoon na rin yung regulatory capture na sinasabi. No? Kasi ikaw gumagawa ng batas eh. Kung baga, may mga ilang...
Siguraduhin mo, ikaw uupo doon.
Plus, yung takbo ng pamumuhay sa Pilipinas, sa mga investments, sa businesses, no? Makokontrol mo kung ikaw ang gumagawa ng batas. Katulad lang din na nangyayari pagka nagdidebate sa Kongreso. Tataasan ba o hindi tataasan yung buwis, for example, sa sigarilyo o sa alak? Kung nakaupo ka doon at ikay gusto mo magkapera, ay natural, wag kang bumoto doon sa itataas yung buwis sa sigarilyo at alak. At may darating sa yung pera. At mayroong darating sa yung pera.
Ibang klase, ha?
Yan yung regulatory capture tsaka yung rent-seeking attitude na talagang
So, are you saying the congressmen are corrupt?
Well, iba-ibang level ng corruption, iba-iba yung pamamaraan ng corruption nila. Meron yung corruption na talagang directly kumukuha ng pera sa pork barrel niya nangungumisyon. Pero meron din namang mga kongresista o mga senador na simple, no? Pag gumagawa ng batas, sino ang papaboran ng batas, doon siya nakakakuha ng malaki.
So the lobby group are the ones that so the graft comes from the lobby groups.
Just like the era of the regulation when it started, no? A lot of senators and congressmen made a lot of money during that era when we started the regulating industries. And we know that for a fact. But nobody will admit that they received.
Bakit di natin mahuli?
Well,
Bakit di natin, you mean the COA is useless?
There was a time that COA was unreliable.
So they're still unreliable if they can't come up with the fish that are swimming all over. We're not talking one big fish. We're talking of a lot of dragon fishes in the sea right now or in the lake.
Hindi, marami naman kasing paraan to circumvent the
Corruption.
control, yung check and balance. So like for instance, ako congressman, no? Meron akong priority project that I can fund, no? Kilala ko na yung mga, alam ko na kung sino yung kontratistang kukunin ko diyan, di ba? So tapos meron na ring set of bidders na nakahanda diyan para mag-bid sa
SOP.
project. Okay.
Para may SOP.
All they need to
SOP
do
ang tawag nila
is
siguro.
overprice that
Yan ang nababasa natin.
pero alam nyo, ano yan,
Paano
barya
mo-
yan. Yan yung barya.
paano
Yan yung
makukuha?
sinasabi ko yung level ng corruption sa Kongreso eh. Depende yan eh. Kasi kung pork barrel lang ang bibirahin mo, barya yon. Ang liit lang nun eh. Like if a congressman gets 70 million of pork barrel each year, sabihin na natin kung garapal siya, kukuha siya ng 30% out of it, that is only how much? No? That's 21 million. Ganun. Pero sa legislation, diyan sila malaki kumuha. Dahil yung lobby money na umiikot.
Yeah.
No? Doon lang sa doon lang sa IPIRA, for example, sino ang kumita ng malaki diyan nung ginawa yung power industry yung
Liberalization, yeah.
Yes, yung liberalization ng power industry. Sino ang kumita diyan? Maraming kumita diyan. Malinaw naman. Nasasabi ko po ito kasi galing ako sa loob ng Senado. At marami akong nasalihan ng mga diskusyon at nakikita ko na nag-aaway ang dalawang senador tungkol lang sa kung paano itatax ang kotse. Dahil yung isang senador, meron siyang baby na isang car manufacturer at yung isa naman, ibang car manufacturer. Doon nagtatalo yan. Doon yung malalaking lobby money. Yun
But
yung
that's normal in the States. Lobbying is a professional device
Correct.
of pushing and promoting specific legislation. Basically, it's how commerce runs. Di ba?
Yeah.
But to pocket it, ako question, straight to the point. Kung alam natin apat na may corruption, na obvious, like you said, Lito, Norman, no? If you say it's so obvious, ba't hindi alam ng taong bayan? Yung may mga nanonood ng TV, hindi nila alam na corrupt ang mga congressman, mga governor, mga mayor, mga senador.
Yeah, alam yan.
Ano sila? Bakit? Tayo lang may alam. So huwag natin lalakas, hindi alam ng taong bayan. Yung nababasa nila sa dyaryo, hindi nila naiintindihan. Is that, o alam ng taong bayan na corrupt lahat?
Alam ng taong bayan. Ang mahirap
bakit
lang
nila
dyan talaga.
binoboto yung mga corrupt? Alam naman nila.
Wala namang hindi corrupt na tumatakbo eh.
No, tumakbo si Lito.
Hindi, pero ibig
Hindi
sabihin,
kami
kulang pa yung pagkakakilala.
So, kailangan kilala ka maging corrupt para boto ka ng mga nakikinig. Parang ganon.
Political education among the voters
Importante
is
po
also
yan.
important.
Let's talk about that. Where are we with education and political education? The COMELEC has a budget, if I'm not mistaken. It's a little. It's about $1 million only. Is
Right
it more?
now,
Is
right
it more
now
than
it
$1
has
million?
been approved
To educate.
for education.
For education. No.
No, no,
Voters education, political education.
Okay, hindi. Ang COMELEC right now is a budget of about 8.9 billion.
Yeah, for the whole election.
For the whole election.
But that is just the procedure, the system, salaries, the hardware, the software. After all of that, it all goes down to content. Parang TV yan, ang dami ng stasyon eh. At dadami pa yung mga network, dadami pa mga programa. But at the end of the day, hindi sa dami, hindi sa engineering yan eh. Yung content, di ba? Sino nagtuturo sa taong bayan na wag ito, mali ito tama, ito. Who? Miski mga NGOs, ako naghahanap ako ng mga who teaches. Not even a COMELEC. PPCRV, I don't see them around. Do you? I don't see them in the local level, in the grassroots. I don't see the COMELEC going around teaching. I don't hear of forums, going around the schools teaching the children and those in high school or in college. Alam nyo, huwag kayo kukuha ng ganito, hingi kayo sa barangay kapitan nyo, hingi kayo sa counselor nyo ng pera, alam nyo ba kung saan nanggagaling? Wala naman nagtuturo eh.
Hindi naman po kasi trabaho ng COMELEC yun. Ang trabaho ng COMELEC, patakbuhin lang yung eleksyon.
Alam mo minsan inako na yan ng Catholic Bishops Conference of the Philippines yung political education. And they called it catechesis on politics or Christian education on politics. Pero hindi tinuloy. And in fact, sa Kapatiran, we have developed a number of templates to do this political education thing that we feel is very important, that should go hand in hand with our political action of participating in the elections. But unfortunately, resources ang problema We are only very few. How can we spread ourselves throughout the nation to do that? Until we discovered this pastoral exhortation on Philippine politics by the Catholic Bishops Conference of the Philippines. Imagine, Harry, Christian education on politics. Dinidiscuss dyan ano dapat ang tamang pamimili ng kandidato. Ano dapat ang iyong maging pamantayan.
Mga sermon during masses.
Actually, ang statement pa ng CBCP is this: for it to be lasting, it should be done as part and parcel of regular catechesis in the parishes, in basic ecclesial communities, in various lay organizations. Ibig sabihin, maging part ng activities, if you would allow it, parish pastoral councils.
Yun na nga pero
dahil sila yung hindi ginagawa.
So, lumalabas na lang sila pag-eleksyon
Pag-eleksyon na. So, isang napakahalagang bagay.
Yun na nga, dapat everyday yan The 3 years of election starts on the day that the guy who sits down and takes the position because he's already politicking, namimigay na yan ng pera on day 1.
Yeah.
So, mahirap na labanan niya, incumbent yun
So, bumalik tayo dun sa higit na 80% Katoliko sa Pilipinas, kaya sila rin ang dapat sisihin For me, sila din ang dapat sisihin. We are all that is why we find ourselves now on the defensive, one is the most prominent now is the RH bill, no? And for me, it is not a result of the action being taken by the House of Representatives or the Senate, but a result of the inaction
Inaction, yes.
of
Well, let's look at the,
our
the
leaders.
RH bill for August 4, crisis management, and we have to address this. Gentlemen, we're at the top of the hour. We have to close, but a quick 30-second message starts with Lito. Your quick message to our viewers.
We expect all Catholics, no, those who are really faithful to our faith, no, to be present on Saturday at August 4 at 1 o'clock at the EDSA Shrine. Let's speak and tell the President that he is wrong in endorsing the RH bill.
I'll be there with you. Norman.
Napakaganda hong platform nitong programa ni Harry sa
Talk to Harry.
sa puntong Talk to Harry, no? Sa puntong ito ay nakakatulong, no, na makapagbigay edukasyon tungkol sa politika sa particular sa mga nakakapakinig nito. Ngunit besides this, ito rin ay isang panawagan sa mga nagmamalasakit nating kababayan at yung may kakayahan na sana ay pag-isipan yung magtaya ng sarili at sa halip na magreklamo na lang tayo ng magreklamo ay tumulong at marahil tumakbo, no, sa darating na 2013 elections.
Manola?
Ang ating sitwasyon sa Pilipinas ay sa atin din ang gagaling lahat yan. Sapagkat meron pong kasabihan, kahit na po sa simbahan, sinasabi po yan, tayo po ay what we do and what we have not done is what is happening now in the country. We have failed to do certain things that we have to do, and I think that this is something that everybody, especially voters, must be concerned about. And I would like to thank Harry, especially inviting us to this program called Talk to Harry. We enjoyed it, and we have learned a lot from it. Thank you.
De, papalitan na natin yung title ng show, Talk Kapatiran. Kaya dapat gawin natin regular talk. If only we succeed in just educating, we have already succeeded. I mean, okay na yan, kung maka-educate lang tayo. So, crisis management, August 4, 1 o'clock. If you care, you'll be there. But if you don't care, manood ka na lang ng TV, okay, marami dyan, game show, baka manalo ka pa. It's called frustration, and enjoy it with stars and colors, diba? But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed our program. The sarcasm, the nuances, and all of this that put forward, my passion that tries to be overbearing at times, and forcing my guests to even say, corrupt ka ba? O corrupt ba yun? Or whatnot. This is all in an effort to generate what I call critical thinking para po sa atin lahat. Kasi totoo. We are a mess when it comes to voting, and our leaders have failed us. They have failed us because we have failed them. So, for those of you who understand, naiintindihan mo, it's oras na, magpulong-pulong, at ibahin na. Porkit kaibigan mo, kilala mo, kamag-anak mo, or may recall ang pangalan ng... Alam mo, pag hindi mo kilala iboboto mo, mabuti pa, huwag ka bumoto ng tao na yun eh. You know what you do? Huwag mo isipin yung tao, isipin mo yung plataforma at kung ano ang kinakatayuan ng isang tao. Parang ganun. You'll do better off. And then, if you don't know what you're doing in the next 3 years after the election, at least pag-aralan mo. So, come 2016, at least, at that time, mas may alam ka na. But if you vote an idiot into power, he will just create more idiots like you. Maraming salamat po. My name's Harry Tambuatco. We hope you've enjoyed our show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are what you watch. You are what you watch.